right, here we go.
Okay, here we are.
Oh, totally.
Hey, all you saints and sinners, welcome to another episode of Confessions of a DIY Musician, where we, the band Marina City, go take a deep dive about the life of being an independent artist. Some of the episodes are talking about tips and tricks and facts about being an independent artist. Sometimes it's about lives that we are actually going through, stories, the things that we are working on right now, and you can see and peek into our minds a little bit deeper than what social media gives you. So thank you so much for stopping by and listening to this next half hour as we discuss our brand new EP, Reflections. Now, this is the third part and the last part of this Reflections EP, Confessions of a DIY Musician part here. The first part, we talked about the general overview of Reflections, how it came about. Second part, we really talked about and dove deep into our song, Who Are You Now, and Tanzanite. And this last part, we're going to take a deep dive on I'm So Broke and song Stay. So thank you so much for listening. Let's talk about I'm So Broke, how it came about, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to open the floor to Eric because actually this original demo you sent to me, and I actually remember you sent it to me at, you're not even going to believe this. So I got married during COVID. I got a wedding twice. I had 2 weddings. My first wedding was basically canceled, not the way that I wanted to go with my wife because of COVID. And I was supposed to have a bachelor party. And because COVID was so rampant at the time, we canceled the bachelor party. But the problem was I couldn't cancel the reservation that we had at the bachelor party. So my brother, my wife, actually, my mom and my dad, we just went, and it was like skiing. We just went skiing outside or whatever, and then we did a bachelor party later. But at the time, even though I was excited that I was with my family and we went skiing and such, I was bummed that I wasn't able to have the proper bachelor party like everyone.
You were with your boys.
With the boys. I was already down that I was already down that the wedding may not happen the way it was supposed to go, and Lindsay and I have been together for so long. We weren't able to go to Chuck E. Cheese. We weren't able to.
I had all my singles ready. Bro. Like, come on.
And so I'm actually on this canceled bachelor party, and Eric sends this song to me, and I was like.
You were like, wait, I thought you said you couldn't come, and you're out here writing songs.
He says it. No, I wasn't like bummed about that, but I was kind of more like, oh man, like I wish that Eric's here, blah blah. But I'll check it out, and literally the lyrics "I'm so broke" came immediately as I'm just like listening. I think first time listening to the song, and it was basically almost exactly what it is now, right? Wasn't it just like there's a little ramp part and then like a little funky. Chorus, and then I was like I think like I'm so broke, and to me it wasn't because I was rich in money. Like I just was like I don't have my people. Like I feel like like I don't have everything that I wanted, and sometimes it sucks to think that way because you have your wife right there, you have your family right there, but you don't see the forest for the trees kind of thing. You see the forest for the trees, and I just feel like at that moment I was just like blind to it, and I was like, I feel broke that I don't have all these people here, and I don't know when I will, and that kind of just started the whole theme of the song. Yeah. From it. So where did the idea? What were you kind of inspired by?
I feel like I could be wrong on this, but I feel like this was peak Movie Pass era. And Lacey and I were going to see a lot of movies. Yeah. And I was like, I want to write like a John Wick movie trailer strut riff, where it's just like there's explosions going on and you just got a trench coat full of guns or something.
I don't know if that's what the song turned out.
That's not what the song's about. You don't feel that way listening to the song? I mean, well,
so
now,
interesting.
But just the riff of like
yeah, that's true.
Like it's like night driving in your really cool freaking like 60s Mustang muscle car, and you're just like You're just like
We
thinking about
definitely-
like vengeance is on your mind.
We
You're
definitely
like,
wanted that down. That's so funny.
Yeah. So you guys ruined it by
Yeah.
making it about. No, I'm just kidding.
About your internal like struggles.
It's so interesting because I didn't know this. It's so interesting to see the vision that you had making it, and then to
Yeah.
see the vision coming into your hands next.
I was just thinking about how I just miss my boys.
Yeah,
I miss the boys, man.
Yeah, John Wick thinks that too, man.
Yeah.
He just misses his dog. He
Misses his dog.
And then I heard the song, and I'm like, this shit needs a guitar solo.
He always says that though.
Yeah, what else is new?
You know, I really like the song, but it's missing something.
It's missing a little something.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, what I think is funny about it lyrically though is that it's always been I'm so broke, but it's never been about money.
Right.
Nah,
Like it's still not about money. If you think it's about money, it's not about
it's not about money. Just like our song "Money." Actually, it's so funny. Someone like posted online. They were like, "Man, from 2019 to 2024, you guys went to money to I'm so broke." Yeah.
Well, if that ain't the truth.
Yeah, but that I mean, but what I will say is that like again, I'm so broke is about. I mean, you bring it up all the time. It's about being morally bankrupt and not having the things that you want. What is a rich man? What is a rich man? It's having his boys, his friends, his family. A place that he loves, that he sleeps, he can do what he wants every day.
It's really sexist, Ryan.
Yeah, or what is a rich woman?
Rich. It's having your boys.
Yeah, maybe yeah. I don't know, maybe your girls are boy. My boys go whatever.
No, but
Yeah.
real talk. It's not. It's about a person just being surrounded by the things that they like, the things that make them happy in life, the things that are going to, like, it's really, to me, the song is kind of about the things that are going to have you leave a legacy on Earth. You know, it's kind of about like, man, I don't know how, I'm not articulating this very well at all.
Well, it's like the idea of the people who chase to be like Kim Kardashian, like the people who chase for internet clout with like nothing behind it.
It's more about how like money is not the thing that makes you rich.
Right.
It's literally the opposite of what the title implies.
Yeah. I think that there's just so much, right now that like it's the Instagram, it's the Instagram personality.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are like, we go to these weddings. We hate these people, but when I go to anyways because I want to have the free food or the glam and the glitz there.
It's
like
all the most toxic people.
the toxic people, the people that like,
it's virtue signaling. It's
those people. You know all of them. And the narrator of the song is we're just poking fun at it. This, but it's also like what you're supposed to grow up in 2024. Like this idea that you get more likes if you go put a selfie of yourself than likes about maybe doing good in the world, about trying to save the animals.
Or it's even about like all right, I donated money to charity, but I posted about it. It's like, did you do it because it's the right thing, or did you do it?
It's the person
clout?
who makes a whole video on TikTok about giving food to a homeless person.
Yeah.
It's that person's like, hey, look at what we did.
Look at what a good person I am.
Yeah.
It's just
Look at
like,
me.
It's like, but what else?
I'm helping the world.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't give food to homeless people. You should, you should help. And we literally have a T-shirt that we're giving out, which is the ironic part, which is why this is so. It's in purpose.
Yeah.
Is to give money to the people that are that need it in the Southeast from the hurricanes.
Affected by the hurricanes.
But the thing is that it's about living that life all the time. Not just about doing it for the clout. And I feel like we, as people, as society, we so focus. I mean, we had a meeting today about how can we make things viral? How can things get better? And it's such a big focus in our life about how social media can be so big that you become a shallow person. And I think that I'm So Broke is about that. It's the ultra person that's that is all about me. I have all the glamour, glitz, and expensive fits, but I'm still broke.
It's the facade of having riches, whether that's materialistic or whether that's like more moral superiority.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like they deep down inside, it's like they show off everything, right? They show off, but deep down inside, they're the only ones they know that they're sad and there's so much missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I get from those lyrics.
But I think
So
that, real quick, is that I do not want for any second to think that we are excused from this as well, because I think this still talks about all of us. This isn't like morally there's right people and wrong people, and I think there's like a weird line from it, right? Because there's the people that are like, hey, I want to like help the people, the humpback whales, and I want to eat healthier, blah blah, but we kind of do it for. I want to do it for my body, or does it look cooler to do that? And that's why it's just kind of tongue in cheek about this whole song, and also saying like, don't grow up, stay in bed instead, because you're going to be a victim of this idea anyways. Yeah,
it's sort of like if you watch The Good Place, how Chidi wrestles with like, oh, I can't eat at this restaurant because they didn't get free range beef or whatever, so it makes you a bad person, and you're so caught up in not being a bad person that you become a bad person. So it's like it's also kind of like our song to hold ourselves accountable, which again is why we did the charity merch. As we, it's like, okay, we also have to walk the walk on this too. We can't just talk about like, hey, everyone should be doing more to help,
right?
And we can't. But not us.
Yeah, I love that. So many people do that.
But then to also we acknowledge how weirdly self-aware it is to like hawk our own merch to then also give the proceeds to charity. So it's all kind of like it's very meta.
Yeah, it is meta. Anything else before we get to today?
My camera died, but it is what it is.
That's all right.
No, I do have one thing. Lyrically, how did you struggle with the perspective, the I versus you? Like, was the conversation ever you're so broke and trying to talk and push the narrative about somebody else, or was it always about you, or you embodying?
I did struggle with this a little bit, because my thing about this song was really difficult writing lyrics, because, and it really bothered me because someone even like commented on a post that was like, hey, Canatonic Youth, look how terrible the song is and it's goofy. And you could look at these lyrics and be like, wow, these are absolutely awful. And then you can look at them and think maybe that they're smart, I hope. But there was something that I was struggling with, because it was so tongue-in-cheek. And I didn't want to place the blame on everyone else besides me. And I felt like it would be disingenuous for me to be like, you're so broke, you're so evil, and look at how great I am. And so that switch from you go to weddings, you do all these things, it's not necessarily saying that you, as a listener, I'm kind of saying like, this is how you live. This is how we live.
It's the royal you.
This is what we do. This is all of us. You go to I literally can count on weddings of people that I'm like, I really don't like, but I went to it because like I got to save face or whatever the case is. So I think that if I didn't say you, and I said, I'm so broke, you're so broke, I don't know if everyone would hold on to it as tight as they do now. But it definitely was, I'm going to look bad on this. But
it's such a funny song, because just watching a crowd full of people all sing I'm so broke is like, wow, we're really all in this together.
We are, yeah.
We're just a bunch of terrible people.
Yeah. And I think that something that I'm doing now that I may have not done before is in my lyrics at least, take more responsibility in the stuff. Like, we have a new song that we're writing. I'll spoil it right here. So if you listen, it's called Fame. It's going to be part of volume 2 of Reflections. And it's going to be my struggle of always wanting the camera in my face. And I just can't turn it off. And I feel like oftentimes I'm writing about, you wronged me, you did this to me, look what you did, I'm going to come back stronger. And not enough of like, man, I've really done a lot of self destruction.
Oh, sorry, never mind.
Reflection.
That's what I thought you were gonna.
I haven't done enough self-reflection, and that's what this EP Reflections are. Again, all these songs are reflecting.
I'm sensing a theme here. This is crazy.
It's the first time that I feel like we've. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Wow.
we've done a really good job in that. Sometimes a lot of the EP names tend to be what was happening in our life, but not necessarily the songs. Where I feel like this is about the songs. Anyways, all right, we're going to take a break here to talk about our sponsors. And if you've been here long enough, you know who our sponsors are. That's marinacityband.com. Oh, you guys are so good at this stuff. Listen, you go to marinacityband.com. As we mentioned before, we are selling a new t-shirt that's a baby blue 1978 World Tour parody t-shirt with a whale on it, just like the song says. You save the humpback whales. You get that t-shirt. All profits go to all the people in the Southeast, all affected on the most recent tragedies of the hurricanes. On top of that, we have an awesome hat, one of my favorite things that we got in there, which is a Reflections hat. It has the broken disco ball right on top of that, stitched with the MAR.CTY. It's a mesh trucker hat. It's super dope. You got to go check it out at marinacityband.com/shop. When you are at marinacityband.com, you can go onto our Discord, where it has a big community of people from all around the world talking about many different things. Maybe their favorite albums, venting about things that they want to have a safe space to talk about. Maybe they're just gloating about something that they're really proud of that they don't have an opportunity to talk about to other people. You can do that here at our Discord. Go to marinacityband.com, click on the Discord, and check that out as well. There, you can also see where we're playing next. We may be playing in a city near you. If we are not playing in a city near you, this is how you can make sure that we play near you. You're going to go text us at 815-406-6209. That's 815-406-6209. You're going to text us your name and your zip code, and you're going to tell us, hey, Marina City, you need to come play in my city, my college, my town, my festival, whatever it is. Please hit us up on that. We would love to play there. We want to play as much as we possibly can, especially in 2025. So make sure you go to marinacityband.com, check out everything there, and, of course, listen to the EP that we're talking about, Reflections. So the last, thank you guys. The last song on Reflections is a 4-part. Again, this is Reflections Volume 1. We're coming up with Volume 2 next year in 2025, but this last song is Stay. So I'm turning it to Toter because he brought the riff. So where did this riff come from? How did you write it? What happened? Were you singing this like the last ones?
So again, I wasn't singing it. I actually had a guitar. I was in my living room when I did this. I remember the moment very clearly because I was texting you, and I was also on my way out of the house. And the way this riff happened was I had like 15 minutes to get out of the house. And I have an acoustic guitar that hangs out in my living room just for this exact purpose of creation mode, I guess. So like it's just easily accessible. I pick it up and write something real quick. So as I have somewhere to go, I get this idea. I just feel something coming. So I grab the guitar and I start jamming this riff progression. And I immediately feel like when I listen to that riff, like I feel the emotion, like those chord changes, like I see like seasons changing, like it's if it was like spring, summer, fall, and winter, like one after another, like those 4 chords to me. And I was like, I was like that, like I felt the emotion right away. And with me, how I believe, like a simple equation to a music song, in my opinion, is that the drums keep everyone dancing, the chords, like the guitar chords or piano chords, that's where the listener feels the emotion, and then the lyrics and the melody really reel it in, and that's how you remember the song. Yeah. So I felt like I was doing my job with these chords, bringing out the emotion, and kind of like setting the painting up for your lyrics and your melodies, you know. And so I recorded it real quick and I sent it off to you. Again, man, I should be pulling these voice memos up and just like showing you guys. That would be interesting, but unfortunately I can't do that. But yeah, that's just kind of that's exactly how it happened, actually.
I remember you sent this to me, and originally I was like, I'm thinking about releasing a solo EP again. I have a solo EP.
Oh yeah,
it's called Twice on Sundays. You guys go check it out. Ryan Argast. And I thought maybe I'll release another solo EP. And I still think about it, but anyways, you brought this idea, and I was like, oh, maybe this is not for Marina City. Maybe it's a solo thing. Yeah. And so I started writing something that was really personal to me. And at that time, I remember we were getting a new house. Lindsay wanted to get pregnant. We wanted to start a family. I needed to probably get more money from whatever job I was doing. And it felt like, gosh, everything that I do, I need more and more of. Like, why can't we just like stay in this moment? Like, my wife is always ready for the next thing. And sometimes I have a fear of growing older and ending one chapter to the next chapter. I want to like relish in it longer. I want to like just, I did all this work to get to this point, and like, can I just live in it a little bit? And so I knew that like, it was like the death of a bachelor and the death of a young kid and the death of a small house owner. Like I was becoming a parent. I was becoming a husband. I was becoming a bigger house. I had to get more money, and I just was like,
slow down. Like, can we just slow down a little bit?
Slow down for a second? And I didn't realize, like, I felt like, man, I've never seen the sun this bright before, and I never seen the moon hang this high, and have we always laughed this much? And it was the stars always there. And it's a song about realizing that, like, wow, all this beauty has been around you for such a long period of time, and you're just noticing it now because you got to leave, because it's no longer going to be a thing of yours anymore. It's like, you hate high school, but then when you graduate high school, you're like crying. You're like, oh man, I'm never going to see these people again. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm never going to see that person. But all of a sudden, now I'm never going to see you again. Now it's actually really sad. And so I'm writing that. But then I realized that, like, when I have my child, my daughter in my arms, and I have this house, I don't want her to grow up so fast. And I want to stay in this moment again. And I just feel like instead of writing a song specific about what I was feeling, I wanted to write something a little bit more generalization of like staying in this moment just a tad longer. Relishing, realizing how beautiful this little moment, how beautiful it is that at 31 years old, I get to sit with my best friends in my basement in the house that I own, and we just practice music, and we have a podcast that you are listening to, and maybe in a year from now, you're not here anymore, not listening. Maybe we're not all three of us are here anymore, and how beautiful of a moment it is that we have this. I just want to stay here just a little bit longer. And I think hopefully everyone can understand that.
Yeah. And it's also like a sad goodbye to all of those moments as they go. Because you can't hold on to it forever. So it's like the necessary part of moving on to the next beautiful thing is saying goodbye to the current one.
Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary.
It's like all those sayings about like one day was the last time that your parents picked you up.
No, we talked about this where it's like,
my favorite thing ever, which is kind of a weird synchronicity, is when we went to do a songwriting session at Phil Barnes' place in Nashville.
Shout out Phil Barnes.
He's got a really great painting in his really immaculately decorated studio.
Yeah.
That says, I was just looking it up so I could quote it exactly. It says, "Somewhere in the future, we're remembering today."
Yeah.
And I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm doing anything and I get that brief split second of like, I just want it to be tomorrow. I just have to be like, you know what? There's going to be a time where in the future, I'm going to be like, man, I really wish I like took advantage of this.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate to bring this up, Toter, but it's like going to Yellowstone, leaving Warped Tour and being like totally drained and exhausted. We're driving right past Yellowstone. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm taking you guys to Yellowstone. And all I kept saying was like, there's going to be a time in the future where you're warm in your bed and like chilling on the couch, bored out of your mind in good old Chicago, Illinois, where you're like, man, I really wish I was in Yellowstone right now.
Yeah.
So taking advantage of those opportunities when you're there and giving yourself that ability to like step outside and be like, yeah, but I'm here doing this thing right now. And I could be hit by a bus, like
right.
You don't know.
You never know. And I think that your simplicity of what you added to it, because again, Toto and I mean, the song was done. It was like, we even went to Eric, we're like, hey, we kind of want to, maybe this is a song from Marina City. We're coming out with an acoustic EP. Maybe this is a song from Marina City. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, I like it. Good. And they're like, all right, well, I mean, is there anything that you can add to it? And I think at the time, you're like, I don't know. And then you came back with some ideas. And you're like, you're going to hate this. Actually, every time you guys say this, Todar has said this too for a new song that we're releasing on Reflections Volume 2. He's like, you guys are going to dislike this one. And we're always like, man, this is awesome. And he says, you're going to hate this. And I remember I was driving in my car and I was cranking it up. And these like the strings or whatever came in. And it just was like, wow, this is emotional.
I had some brooding sense.
Yeah.
But I think part of that, though, stemmed from we kind of had some crazy back and forth on this song.
Oh, yeah, because we wanted to have like...
Yeah, because I feel like lyrically Ryan wanted to go brighter and happier. And I was really like, dude, these chords are sad. Like, this has to be a really depressing, introspective song. And I mean, like, it is about savoring the moment. But I think the sadness of the moments being fleeting is, to me, the overwhelming part about the song. And where I think Stay will never truly be like a happy song in my eyes.
Yeah.
So like the chords that I had and like the sounds were like really dark. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna send these to Ryan after being like, hey man, you gotta make these lyrics dark. I was like, man, they're really gonna hate this because I'm just like trying to goth this song up.
Yeah, believe it or not, we almost had a happy song.
Yeah.
I just want to stay in this moment because it was so beautiful. Like I wanted to be like, hey, this is why. But then I was like, oh, what if it's a goodbye instead?
Yeah, it's kind of like a time of your life a little bit, you know?
Right.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah. And I think that what I love about the ending is that it's instrumental for a little bit and the riff kind of goes and it's just building and building. And in that moment, it feels like it's really swallowing you. The music is swallowing you whole and you're like going into it and then it just spits you out. Like all those memories are just swirling around in your head about all these beautiful things that happen, all these things happen, and then
it's like a spiritual almost experience.
Yeah.
Like when you die and then you see the light coming towards you. Obviously, I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
But like that's how I would envision the ending of that song. Like you have given up on everything that you've tried fighting for and you've just let go and you're just like liberated and you're just like slowly being lifted into this fucking light. Like that's what that's what I envision from the production that you've written.
You're just surrounded by all these beautiful memories.
Yes,
and then,
yes.
You know what? It's your time to snap back to now.
Yep.
You know? It's like, to me, it's almost like you're dreaming of all these beautiful moments that you've had in your entire life. And then you snap back into where you are currently. And then it's your job to make where you are currently part of those beautiful memories that you think about the next time you listen to the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the lyrics that I've been writing for one of the new songs in Volume 2 says that love is a winding road to mourn. And every time, and it's a sad thing, like, you love something and you're going to mourn it one day. But that's the beauty of life. And in this, we did something beautiful and it's over. And now it's time to create something new again. And that's why I think it's even more poetic that we're releasing a Volume 2 of Reflections, because even though it ended, here's something else again. It's not over. So thank you guys so much. Anything else? We're hitting at that 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
That is 3 parts of Reflections, deep dive into that. We hope that you enjoyed listening to these last 3 episodes about Reflections and diving deeper into this record more with us. I think I learned some stuff in here that I didn't know when we wrote this. So
same.
Gave me more of an appreciation of this record, and I hope that you appreciate it as well. Please stream it. Please tell your friends, tell your cool friends about it. And and hopefully that you'll be loving Volumes 2 as well. So thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful day, and we are Marina City. Adios.
Pew, pew, pew. No.
Bye-bye.
Done.